respectful DPS, respectable DPS.
Oh, for sure.
So COG would need some pretty good initiations. The Trist is getting put to the test right now. I'm waiting for a fight where you can actually get the setup and you can actually get the Ginsu stacking and get Lulu with the picks to trigger all Leon hits that they're going for.
He just needs uptime. His team has plenty of playmaking as well, of course. Headbutt, Pulverize, Cocoon, and then an Echo, Parallel Convergence, Follow-Up. All are good tools for getting into a fight. Who can facilitate that. Stixxay can certainly participate with Buster Shot and more. Well, TSM have been the team that's looking better right now. Maw of Malmortius now done for Svenskeren with the Zeta Devourer, Sunfire Cape, and now starting an Iceborne Gauntlet for Hanser, and the Hurricane and Most of Infinity Edge in for Doublelift as well.
You know, I actually think the TSM, if this game goes long, should have Maw of Malmortius or Mercurial Scimitar on every single one of their marksmen, maybe both, just because the damage is going to be so heavily slanted towards magic for COG. If they stay alive, they have more DPS than COG would in teamfights.
And I think the next item for Stixxay is going to end up being Blade of the Ruin King, if I had to guess, doing an attack speed focused Hurricane build. So if you're doing shield items with resists, you don't take any more damage from Ruin King than you would have otherwise. The Sterix pops when you're at 1/3, and you just sit there laughing at % current health damage. It makes it hard. We'll see if anything more can happen. CLG roaming back and forth. Their only turrets available are tier 2, though. Maybe the next Dragon that spawns in 125, but this has slowed down quite a lot as Counterlogic Gaming have run out of objectives to fight for.
Yeah, I think they're in their power spike right now, too. This is where CLG needs to be accumulating a huge advantage because TSM is going to be hitting Infinity Edge on both Corki and Caitlyn fairly shortly. So the longer this stays at 4 kills to 2 and 3 turrets to 0, the happier TSM is.
400 gold apiece, roughly, for the Infinity Edge power spikes. 400 to 600 based on who you are. That's only a few minutes away. And that's what TSM's going to want. They might have to sacrifice this next Dragon because of that. I think those are important item spikes through for those two marksmen. But everyone else can feel pretty comfortable here. Iceborne Gauntlet, Sunfire done for Darshan. He is definitely ahead of what Hanser has because of those early kills, but has not had much to show for it here. Yeah. Teleports all back up for everyone. Now Darshan once again in the fight and not really looking that pretty yet. He's actually down a
lot of pings going down here in the jungle as TSM are making their way, trying to chase each other out. Doublelift and Svenskeren actually chase Aphromu off, trying to get some wards in there. TSM defend their pinks.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I feel like CLG is committing super hard to this 1-3-1 strategy, but it's not been able to grant them anything. Unless Darshan or Huhi can get an edge in their solo matchups, they're just allowing TSM to stall.
Yeah, and again, TSM, we get closer and closer to a very scary team fight from them. They can rely on the Kindred ultimate to protect all 380 carries, and they're the ones with the Gragas. So CLG can't even try and push onto the Kindred ultimate and force them off, because Hanser will just push them back with the ultimate.
Yep. Well, CLG had mid lane control first, Dragons on the map, and here comes the team down towards the river. Everyone's alive. The recall came through for Darshan, has fully blocked what he can. Headbutt Pulverize much, but now the Cocoon and Yellow Storm means a hell of a lot. They almost get the kill. It's close. The shield is on. He's going to run away, and he will stay alive, but that was a lot of damage on the TSM support.
Stixxay front and center here with the Rage Blade. Huhi right behind him.
Yeah, that's well played. Now on towards the backside. Doublelift getting hit pretty hard by the Echo. Darshan running out of health. He'll look to ult eventually, but now it's a push onto Hanser. Explosive cast back. Gets away from the headbutt just barely, but now having to run into the brush, into his base.
Resets waiting to happen there. Stixxay getting them very low, but nobody goes down from TSM.
There's actually a really important mechanic I want to talk about before it happens, because I'll bet you it does.
All right.
Tristana's explosive charge. If the 4th hit gets taken from Buster Shot, it won't explode till after the knockback. So if you ever charge it up on someone in Kindred ulti, they'll get knocked back out of the ulti and then blow up outside the ring. We should see that happen at some point.
I'm also surprised that TSM even thought about contesting that Dragon because of their stall, and they need the Infinity Edge on both of their marksmen, whereas CLG, I think, is amidst their most potent power spike this game, and you almost saw those resets come through. I think TSM is lucky to escape that alive, and CLG was right to bait the fight and go hard for it.
And we'll see if they go back to this one, though. A little bit of damage taken because of the Dragon. After it, half HP. TSM looking to siege mid lane. Triforce Corki, definitely good at demolishing buildings. But the wave is cleared thanks to a Hurricane Tristana. She's real good at that, by the way. It's going to be okay. Headshot hurts Stixxay a bit. Every crap he steps on, but but headshot back up, and Double will get plenty of damage, so he'll kite back for now. Red buff goes on to Svenskeren in this game 5. With the title of North American champion and the trip to the mid-season invitational. It's been a tense 26 minutes.
This is honestly going to crack wide open at an explosive team fight. And I think that CLG should try and create an advantageous situation for that team fight to occur on their terms, since they're the one with the double teleport this time around. Bjergsen has to rely on package to cover a lot of ground across this map. If Corki doesn't have that up, CLG can work around that window, try and create a situation where Darshan as well as Huhi get the minion waves in their favor, and then try and collapse.
It seems like the wave clear is just so matched between the teams in general. Darshan hasn't been able to kill Answer.
Oof. Better damage in a Stixay, has to kite back on that one.
Yeah, they want to keep Huhi next to Stixay at all times, though, so it's going to be a 1-4 split push.
Once again, there's a lot of money on Stixay. 1,800 again on this Tristana. It should be enough to buy whatever item he's looking for, or at least get very close to it. It might actually be Essence Reaver if those items are going together. I don't want
so hard to push through a line of Caitlyn traps as well. So CLG is trapped here because they haven't sieged early enough before the double Infinity Edges have gone up, and their 1-through-1 also hasn't been working very well.
It's very difficult because you want to spread the map to try and pull TSM across, make Caitlyn pick up her traps and move across, but you also want to keep your Lulu next to your AD carry. Yeah. All right, they're going to make the call. They actually separate for now.
Once again.
Back to the 1-3-1, back to the 1-4, back to the 1-3-1. Teleport up for Huhi, not up for Darshan. Caitlyn ult slowly wearing down Stixay's health pool. And if he does go Bloodthirst with the DPS loss, but it would let him stay at full health for all of these fights and all this
package has arrived.
And it's up for Bjergsen. Again, outer turrets all available for TSM to kill. The fact that they're so close in gold, despite being down 2 kills and 3 turrets, means they've got a lot of farm and a lot of room to grow in this game.
And the Infinity Edge, the Infinity Edges have come in for all parties. That means Stixay as well.
Okay, he did get an after all. Sold the longsword, got the item in. So this is good because it means that Stixay will do plenty of team fight damage.
Exactly. It moves him back towards a real physical damage dealer. He's still going to have high attack speed, and he's going to be able to multiply his crits. So it's kind of the Rage Blade was the one-off for the early game power, I suppose, and the rest of it's going to be pretty standard AD carry from the looks of it.
Okay, well, CLG hoping that's going to be enough for them as they keep pushing forward. Top outer turret did go down, though, so some gold clawing back in for TSM. Only a 1,000 gold game here. Double is still getting a lot of the farm, but actually just matching Hauntzer in CS numbers. It's Bjergsen who has all the gold.
Yep, CLG can't manage to create that situation where they get the advantage on minion waves. TSM have so many tools here. Hauntzer, even though he's been down since the start of this game, after those kills went over to Darshan, Hauntzer held up in his lane. He's always been able to hold the lane.
Yeah, huge credit to him on this Gragas. He knows that he can take it to neutralize whatever Darshan's been able to play, and he's done it throughout the series. And the longer this game goes, now 29 minutes and 30 seconds in, with only 1,000 gold difference, the higher the chance is that one giant fight could decide the whole game.
And the more clear it will be, is Rageblade Tristana actually good? That's true.
Yeah.
He's got him.
I feel like this is going to be a good test, the first team fight here.
Watch them just gets one shot. Just forever Gragas ulti.
And the thing is, with the pressure now and the way that COG is continually trying to spread out the map, like one bad decision could also do it. It couldn't even be about whether or not Rageblade Trish is good.
Come on, man, don't do that to me.
I want to see.
Just denying your
storyline.
All right, well, here we go. Looking again at the mid lane, TSM. The gold's close enough, and they've got a Caitlyn, they've got a Corki. These champions are good at this sort of work. As they push in, looking to zone people away. Cocoon.
Unbreakable being down is actually pretty big. Braum stepping in front of the Tristana is pretty much the only defense that TSM have. They kind of have Yellowstar sacrificing himself to try and cut off that range damage, but it's a limited amount of time.
So Dude was finally in defense mode for a split second there. They've been on the offensive for so long. The TSM left the safety of their turrets. But that's short-lived. They're right back there because their waves are pushing.
Yeah. One thing that CLG can do as well, they do have the Elise, pick potential there. Darshan on Echo always has a bit of a scary threat here with the Echo. Front Fog of War, it's a lot easier to land the stun. He probably won't be with the rest of the team as they're baiting around Baron, but there are a couple tools that CLG do have to use where they can try and pick people from Fog of War if they really close their grip on the vision game. Oh, tank fight over blue.
Oh, Hanser gets it. Percent health damage with the W. GG, thank you very much. Still gets the Knight away from Bjergsen, but you know what? Still take it. I think he's pretty good on Gragas.
Very good, yes.
Yeah.
Especially, well, he's maxed out on CDR. Nice.
Yeah, he had 30 from items, so depending on his runes, he maybe or maybe didn't need it.
I think you don't ruin it. But, depends on the player.
The longer this game goes, the more tense it becomes. This is the first big risk that CLG would be making by
Rage Blade!
It's going really fast.
And TSM are reacting. They've got Darshan back in base for a teleporter. They need it. Here comes the attempted play. After has to zone out Svenskeren. That's Baron Nashor picked up by Smithy the second time in a row. The knockback onto the team and an early pop on the Kindred ulti. Here comes the re-engage. Yellow Star's the first kill. Darshan's back into it on a Hanser. Stixxay jumping away. But Bjergsen wants him. A couple of kills going back and forth. Smithy also down. Hanser staying alive. And the team is running away. CLG lost 2.
Stixxay did not expect Bjergsen to be there on Tristana as he jumped over and had to flash over the blue wall, I think. They did come away with the Baron, but TSM have map control. They're going to try and get some turrets off the ground before CLG get back on their feet.
And this is where the triple marksmen shine. They can shred through these turrets in a few seconds. That's multiple turrets off that Baron Gold. Dead even after that one.
That was set up for success for CLG there, I feel like. Stixxay had stacked his Rage Blade fully on Baron, so he got to enter the fight with full stacks, and yet they still don't get it. Uh-oh, can they steal it with a... No.
They're going in with Stixxay again?
Looking for the play, but no teleports are up. And yeah, Trap's buying quite a bit of time. No engage to be had. Ooh. All CLG can do is control mini waves.
This game is so tense. 33 minutes in and one team fight could decide the championship. And yeah, that last fight, Kobe, they got the Baron. They snuck it essentially. They finished it first. Set up for success, but why doesn't this team fight go heavily in CLG's favor?
Aphromoo had to pop his ult early. That was pretty big. But Sven also pops the Kindred ultimate early.
Darshan was able to stay in long enough to then get his Echo ultimate back without returning to his original TP position. But once again here, Stixxay sees Bjergsen right where he jumps and has to go away immediately. Yeah. He was hoping to be able to DPS from the side.
That's the crux of their team fight. And CLG spreading out like that, they lost all focus there.
Why did he jump over there in the first place?
They had vision of him because Aphromoo just knocked Bjergsen there. So CLG, if he was paying attention and he saw the entirety of the fight, then he would know that Bjergsen's there. But I think it was a reaction. He just came out of a stun. Stixxay was stunned and he was like, I need to get out of here. But yeah, them spreading out like that was a hiccup, and you have no more chances.
Losing game 5 time on a Lulu buff AD carry is just never a good situation for a team fight. So TSM were advantaged there. They got some mid turrets, but now CLG are back into the top side. And look at the damage they have with Tristana in general with a Baron buff on the squad. So now the overall Baron power play is plus 1,000. The net result of going for that play in the first place is CLG looking pretty good. But it's still an incredibly close game as they fight for vision control back and forth.
It's so tense.
Oh man, it's incredibly close here.
5th game, closest game yet. I mean, games 1 and 3 were pretty close too.
Yes.
But this is equally as close. And less action, which to me is building the tension right now because I'm just waiting for it to really get crazy.
Look at that kind of damage. It just required 3 auto attacks from Stixxay. Hit it again. Let the dragon buff hit it. If he ever gets red, you can let the red buff hit it. There we go. 2 more hits. Down it goes. A 2,000 gold Baron power play. Net positive for CLG.
CLG keeps doing this right. They're going to extend themselves a much bigger lead, and they'd also force TSM to fight them. But TSM's tanks have gotten pretty strong after the early deficits they had. If they stay alive, they have more DPS than CLG would in team fights.
And I think the next item for Stixxay is going to end up being Blade of the Ruin King, if I had to guess, doing an attack speed focused Hurricane build. So if you're doing shield items with resists, you don't take any more damage from Ruin King than you would have otherwise. The Sterix pops when you're at 1/3, and you just sit there laughing at percent current health damage. It makes it hard. We'll see if anything more can happen. CLG roaming back and forth. Their only turrets available are tier 2, though. Maybe the next dragon to spawn. But everyone else can feel pretty comfortable here. Iceborne Gauntlet, Sunfire done for Darshan. He is definitely ahead of what Hanser has because of those early kills, but has not had much to show for it here.
Yeah.
Teleports all back up for everyone. Now Darshan once again in the fight and not really looking that pretty, and he's actually down a
lot of pings going down here in the jungle as TSM are making their way. trying to chase each other out. Stick double lift in Svenskar and actually chase Aframu off, trying to get some wards in there. TSM defend their pinks.
Yeah, this is...
If you can facilitate that, Styxx can certainly participate with Buster Shot and more. Well, TSM have been the team that's looking better right now. Maw of Malmortius now done for Svenskar with the Zeta Devourer, Sunfire Cape, and now starting an Iceborne Gauntlet for Hanser, and the Hurricane and most of Infinity Edge in for Double Lift as well.
You know, I actually think the TSM, if this game goes long, should have Maw of Malmortius or Mercurial Scimitar on every single one of their marksmen, maybe both, just because the damage is going to be so heavily slanted towards magic for CLG. Respectful DPS, respectable DPS.
Oh, for sure.
So CLG would need some pretty good initiations. The Trist is getting put to the test right now. I'm waiting for a fight where you can actually get the setup and you can actually get the Ginsu stacking and get Lulu with the picks to trigger all the on-hits that they're going for.
He just needs uptime. His team has plenty of playmaking as well, of course. Headbutt, Pulverize, Cocoon, and then an Echo, Parallel Convergence, Follow-Up, all are good tools for getting into a fight. It's in 125, but this has slowed down quite a lot as Counterlogic Gaming have run out of objectives to fight for.
Yeah, I think they're in their power spike right now, too. This is where CLG needs to be accumulating a huge advantage because TSM is going to be hitting Infinity Edge on both Corki and Caitlyn fairly shortly. So
600 gold
the
each.
longer this stays at 4 kills to 2 and 3 churs to 0, the happier TSM is. 400
gold apiece, roughly, for the Infinity Edge power spikes, 400 to 600 based on who you are. That's only a few minutes away. And that's what TSM's going to want. They might have to sacrifice this next dragon because of that. I think those are important item spikes through for those two marksmen.